serious problem for Carlos Alcaraz after his match against Sinner. The calendar gives no respite to Carlos Alcaraz, who after losing the final of the ATP Finals in Turin this Sunday has already set off for Bologna for the final 8 of the Davis Cup. That said, the world number 1 and leader of the Spanish team is doubtful for the international competition after the discomfort he felt in his hamstring, and he will undergo tests to rule out a serious injury before stepping on court. The Mercian is the spearhead of the Spanish team captained by David Ferrer, and losing him would also mean losing a large part of their chances of winning the trophy. Carlos will undergo a medical examination on Monday afternoon upon his arrival in Bologna, 3 days before the debut against the Czech Republic scheduled for Thursday morning. It will be an MRI under the supervision of Dr. Ángel Ruiz Catoro, head of the medical services of the RFF. Thus, David Ferrer's press conference with the complete team, scheduled for this same Monday afternoon, has also been postponed pending the results of the medical exam. As for the rest of the team, Jaume Munar, Pablo Carreño and Pedro Martinez have already completed several training sessions since their arrival in Bologna on Saturday, and Marcel Granollers, also immersed in the ATP Finals in Turin, doubles, will arrive this Monday in full physical condition. Alcaraz clarifies how his injury is ahead of the Davis Cup. "I will do everything in my power." Carlos Alcaraz was straightforward in analyzing the discomfort he experienced in his right hamstring during the final against Jannik Sinner at the ATP Finals. He aggravated it, as he had already felt the first warning sign in the semi-final the previous night. He made it very clear that it had not influenced his defeat against Jannik Sinner, 7-6, 4, 7-5. He made no excuses for the score nor took away merit from a rival who always comes back stronger after a loss. He proved it again. If he won, it's because he deserved it. Although the injury did occupy his mind for a while, because when you hurt yourself, the thoughts are there. But after 2 or 3 games I was able to move well. Sometimes I act crazy and go after impossible balls. That's where it limited me, but I was able to play well and move with strength. Now comes the Davis Cup, with Spain playing next Thursday against the Czech Republic in the quarterfinal tie. I have something in the thigh, but I hope it doesn't affect me in Bologna. Tomorrow I'll travel and I'll do everything in my power to play for my country. We're going to try to recover as soon as possible, he said. The tournament has been spectacular, he summarized about the ATP Finals. "I'm not hurt or pissed off, you have to value being in this final. I've never doubted my level indoors, that I can compete and beat Sinner. I was very close," he analyzed. He described the ATP season as brilliant. "Not perfect because to be perfect I would have had to win everything." The Italian dedicated some nice words to Carlitos after being crowned for the second consecutive year at the Masters Cup. Carlos Alcaraz couldn't overcome Jannik Sinner in the final of the Masters Cup. The Mercian delivered a great performance, but the solidity of the Italian eventually prevailed in a match where equality reigned for most of the time. Only the details, in Sinner's favor, ended up deciding the final and the second Masters title for the world number 2. It is the second consecutive crown Sinner has won in Turin, all without dropping a single set. Even so, the number 1 ranking went to Alcaraz this season, as the Mercian secured it during the group stage. Regarding this, Sinner took the opportunity to dedicate some kind words to Carlitos after the final. Despite their rivalry on the court, both maintain a great relationship. "If I'm not number 1, I want you to be," Jannik said during the trophy ceremony. Both he and Carlos exchanged emotional messages after another great final between them. Carlos Alcaraz left the Turin court with a mix of pride, clarity and determination after losing the final of the 2025 ATP Finals 7-6-4, 7-5 to world number 2 Jannik Sinner. The match brought together the 2 best players of the season, both arriving with a perfect 4-0 record in the tournament and a rivalry that defined much of the year. "I'm very, very happy with the level I showed today, with my performance." The loss closed a season in which Alcaraz played 6 finals, won 4 of them, held onto the world number 1 position and consolidated a year of consistency and growth. Before the match, Alcaraz had won 7 of his last 8 matches against Sinner and led the head-to-head 10-5. This time, however, Sinner's precision indoors prevailed and halted the Spaniard's final push. "You don't lose very often, but after every loss you come back stronger." Alcaraz acknowledged the significance of Sinner's achievement, highlighting the Italian's impressive indoor streak and exceptional level throughout the week. The match reflected a rivalry fueled not only by talent but by mutual respect and shared ambition. The Spaniard emphasized that these battles push both of them, and added that the quality of their tennis demands more clashes on big stages in the coming seasons. "I hope you're ready for next year because I will be ready." He later moved on to his acknowledgements, highlighting the essential role of his team and family throughout a season that pushed him to his physical and mental limits. Alcaraz insisted that the consistency needed to finish as year-end number one doesn't exist without strong support behind the scenes. With many of them present in Turin, he made clear that this defeat does not overshadow the journey they have taken together. I'm very lucky to have them supporting me. Reviewing the year, Alcaraz stressed that falling short in the ATP Finals does not change his assessment of the season as a whole. 4 titles, a 4-2 record in finals, and maintaining the ranking lead reflects stability and the ability to grow from setbacks. The loss, he suggested, is another opportunity to learn and return stronger in 2026, especially with such a demanding rivalry as the one he has with Sinner. The Spaniard explained that he gave everything physically and mentally during the match, and highlighted that the level he showed throughout the week was among the best he has displayed indoors. Sinner's ability to strike at key moments made the difference, but the performance reaffirmed that Alcaraz is ready to compete deeply at the biggest tournaments. He credited his team for keeping him in optimal condition throughout a long and demanding calendar. Alcaraz also highlighted the atmosphere at the Pulla Alpitour, acknowledging that most of the energy naturally supported the local player. Even so, he noted that the crowd was respectful, creating an environment that elevated the spectacle without overshadowing the sport. For Alcaraz, moments like these explain why Turin has become such a memorable venue for the ATP Finals in recent years. He closed his message by thanking the city and the fans, expressing his desire to return next season with renewed motivation. The defeat hurt, but it gave him perspective, a reminder of the fine margins at the elite level and of the excitement brought by a rivalry capable of delivering new chapters every year. I just hope to see you next year. The prize money Sinner takes home and Carlos Alcaraz's promise for next year. The Italian has ended up winning his second crown at the ATP Finals without losing a single set. The Mercian warned him to get ready for 2026. Sinner takes home an impressive prize purse in Turin. Italian Jannik Sinner pocketed more than $5 million this Sunday as undefeated champion of the ATP Finals in Turin, an all-time record for this tournament which gathered the 8 best rackets on the circuit. He defeated his top rival on his favorite surface, in a tournament where he has not dropped a set since that final against Djokovic in 2023 and in which this edition he conceded only one break of serve, the one Alcaraz managed early in the second set. In total, the tournament distributed $15.5 million among all participants. Sinner broke for the first time in the Masters Cup the $5 million barrier and won $5,071,000. In 2024, also undefeated, he received $4,881,100 in that edition. Sinner, Alcaraz and the rest of the contenders earned $331,000. For each group stage victory he added $396,500. That is, by winning all 3 group matches he reached the semifinals with $1,520,500 in his pocket. In the semifinals, where 2 of the 4 players from each group advanced, the winner passed the $1 million barrier. He defeated Australian Alex de Minaur and pocketed $1,183,500. The grand final awarded $2,367,000. The total, $5,071,000 for an undefeated Sinner. Alcaraz, who earned everything except the final, finished with $2,704,000. Carlos Alcaraz had to wait 104 weeks, from September 11, 2023, to September 8, 2025, to regain the world number 1 ranking. He lost it before the ATP Finals, where he recovered it. And he made it his again by winning his 3 group matches in Turin. With those 600 points he secured year-end number 1, as he had once before in his career, in 2022, the year of his professional breakthrough. He added another 400 in the semi-finals. Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, tied. 4 wins each, 1,000 points. Only the final prize remained, a prestigious trophy and an extra 500-point bonus for the ranking. The undefeated champion took 1,500. A perfect run for Jannik Sinner, who narrowed the gap with Carlos Alcaraz in the year-end ranking. The Spaniard's advantage is 550 points, with 12,050 and 11,500, respectively. The Spaniard will lead the ATP rankings for the 46th week of his career. Alcaraz, despite the defeat in Turin, will remain number 1 for a while. The rest of the year and the month of January, where both will only officially play the Australian Open. Everything is in Alcaraz's favor, as he will defend 400 points, compared to the 2,000 of reigning champion Jannik Sinner. After that, the Italian will at everything because this season he spent 3 months away from competition, during which Alcaraz collected 2,450 points, until their reunion in May on the clay of Rome. The battle for 2026 will remain open between this big two with a voracious appetite, far superior to the rest.